honorable judges, and distinguished members in other groups. My name is Jason.
My name is Lucy.
My name is Olivia.
Our topic name is
Who cares?
In today's presentation, we would like to let everyone know what the problems of elderly care is between Taiwan and Japan.
And we were also going to give you a new idea, and I will also share with you how serious the aging problem is. For example, Taiwan and Japan. Asian countries, their cultures are quite similar, and Japan is very advanced in long-term elderly care, which makes Taiwan gradually move forward in this regard. And in our presentation, we will talk about motivation at first, and then explain aging society background, policies comparison, and connections between nutrients and diseases are lost as the most important part in our presentation, our proposal. Hey Jason, do you have any personal experience related to elderly care?
Yes, I want to share a story from my family. My grandmother suffered from diabetes for about 10 years. It gets worse and worse in the last 3 years. She couldn't eat or drink by herself, and not to mention that she was a bedridden patient. My mom and my uncle need to take care of her a lot, but both of them need to work. And guess what? This is a typical situation happening in a lot of families.
I'm so sorry to hear about that. In order to know more about the elderly situation, I'll invite Jason and Lucy to talk about the details.
Thanks for Olivia. As you can see, here is the aging society background between Taiwan and Japan. On the left side, there is a third of elderly population in Taiwan, and a third of elderly living in rural areas. Elderly who have more than 2 chronic diseases occupies almost 65%, and around 1% of elderly who living alone.
And let's take a look at the aging society background of Japan. As you can see, there are lots of similarities between Taiwan and Japan.
Based on the data, I found that the situation in Japan is more serious than Taiwan.
And in addition, we would like to show you guys some common senile disease, as well as between Taiwan and Japan. As you can see, here is the hypertension occupies almost 50%, and which is also the most common senile disease in Taiwan.
And let's take a look at the common senile disease in Japan. And the most common senile disease in Japan is dementia, and it's about 17%.
And those data and information are from Ministry of Health and Welfare.
That's a big problem. Did any government try to solve it?
Of course, like Japanese government, they also ensure the employment rates of elders, and they also build specific big houses for elders.
I heard that Taiwan's policy were inspired by many other countries. Is that true?
Yes, our government puts a lot of efforts into it, such as intergenerational co-housing and the national pension system. However, that was not enough. Therefore, that's why we need to come up with more ideas and provide some solutions.
It sounds like chronic disease is a big part of elderly problem.
Yes, and the most influential reason is the lack of nutrient content. A common lack of nutrients are calcium, zinc, and vitamin D.
And let's take a look on our target. Based on internet searches in previous slide, we have found that certain aspects we can target out. First, rural areas. Living in rural areas might be the big problems for elderly to buy the food or prepare their meals.
Second, care living alone. We can give the elderly who live in rural area immediately care.
And the third one, most elderly people may have a balanced nutritional intake. Mostly is due to the previous values and also the lack of nutritional knowledge.
Therefore, we would like to design an app to address this problem. First, our app was specifically for families with elderly citizens. By using technology, the families of the elderly people can order the food for them. Also, we'll provide additional job opportunities for food delivery.
Hey guys, so what we can actually contribute to sustainable development goals?
The number 2, zero hunger. By using our app, we can avoid the elderly who live alone from being hungry.
Number 3, good health and well-being, because it can solve the problems of elders from getting chronic diseases, and it can also decrease the stress of caregivers for the elders.
And for the last one, number 8. By providing more job opportunities and by bringing more people to use our apps, we think we can stimulate economic growth.
And then let's take a look at the collaboration opportunities of our food delivery platform. For the health of the elders, we will strictly screen when we are choosing restaurants, such as whether organic food they use or whether pesticide residues and so on. And then because we're students right now, which means we do not have much money, therefore we will try to seek some assistance from private organizations and even government agencies. In addition, we will also recruit some volunteers to help us. Finally, we will use the fund we raise and ask nutritionists to make a suitable recipe for elders.
And based on our target, strategies, and collaborations, we would like to do these 4 actions to achieve our goal. And later on, I will invite Lucy and Olivia to introduce our last part, the services.
Now I'll introduce our feature function. We have our subscription plan which costs $3 to $4.5 a meal, and it also includes customized meals by knowing the lack of nutrition of each elderly people.
And in terms of salary, because of the distance, the salary we give will be higher than a lot of general food deliveries, such as Foodpanda and Uber Eats. And our delivery service also includes social responsibility, SDGs.
Hey guys, do you think this solution can really work?
Although we know that there still have some shortcomings in our project, find implement and solve it.
That's the spirit of SDGs, and that's all about our presentation. Thank you for listening.